The saints are models of human excellence, perfected by the life of Christ and the communication of His Spirit. They demonstrate by their lives how to really live and how to really die. They consistently point to the horizon of love, which leads to the fulfillment of all human desire, eternal communion with the Holy Trinity. Please put your hands together to welcome our little saints from Pre K 3. Dania Maria Thomas, Saint Alfonsa. Saint Alfonsa was born as Annakutti, little Anna, in Kudumallur, a village in Kottayam district, to the Joseph and Mary Muttathupadathu. She was the first woman of Indian origin to be canonized as a saint by the Catholic Church, and the first canonized saint of the Syro-Malabar Church. Her feast day is observed on July 28th. Her tomb in Barananganam has become a pilgrimage site. Kenrick Anish, Saint Don Bosco. Saint Don Bosco, father and teacher of the youth. He devoted his entire life as a priest to their salvation, and he was a great educator. He was proclaimed a saint in 1934 on Easter Sunday at the end of the Jubilee year of redemption. Aiden Biju, Saint Kuriakos Elias Chavra. Saint Kuriakos Elias Chavra, CMI, was a Catholic priest and a social reformer. He was the co-founder and first prior general of First Congregation of Men in Syro-Malabar Catholic Church. Alvin Robert Anthony, Saint Nicholas. Saint Nicholas, who is known as Santa Claus, is a patron saint of children. He is also known as Nicholas, the wonder worker, due to many miracles attributed to his intercession. Leona Teresa Jane, the little flower, Saint Therese of Lisieux. Remember that nothing is small in the eyes of God. Do all that you do with love. One of the famous quote by Saint Therese of Lisieux. Generations of Catholics have admired this young saint, called her the Little Flower. She is also known as Saint Teresa of the Child Jesus and the Holy Face. Aaron Joseph George, Saint Thomas. Unless I see the mark of the nails in his hands and put my finger into the nail marks and put my hand into his side, I will not believe. On touching the Lord, Didymus, known as the doubting Thomas, professed his faith with the words, "My Lord and my God," the strongest words of faith in the New Testament. India's own apostle and the patron saint of our parish, Saint Thomas on stage. Jenna T. Justin, Saint Teresa of Calcutta, Mother Teresa. I'm a little pencil in the hand of a writing God who is sending a love letter to the world. Saint Teresa of Calcutta, known as Mother Teresa, was an Albanian Indian Roman Catholic nun and missionary who was born on August 26, 1910 in Macedonia. In 1929, she came to India, receiving the call from Jesus, spent her life for the poor people in Calcutta, a pillar of compassion, a voice for the poor, a saint who also won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979. Mother Teresa died on 5th September 1997 in Calcutta, India, and was canonized by Pope Francis on September 4, 2016. Matthew Kapil, Saint Jude. Saint Jude, also known as Judas Thaddeus, was one of the 12 apostles of Jesus. He is the patron saint of desperate causes. We as a community pray for Saint Jude's help every Friday and are blessed to have his relic. We celebrate his feast on 28th October. Hazel Mary Anish, Saint Cecilia. Saint Cecilia is the patron saint of musicians. It's said that as she lay dying, after her captors tried 3 times to behead her, she sang to herself until Jesus brought her home to heaven. Mark Leslie Malieko, Saint Joseph. Saint Joseph was the foster father of Jesus and the husband of Mary. He was successor of King David and was a carpenter by trade. Joseph was a devout father and husband. Joseph and Mary raised Jesus in Nazareth. Joseph died in the hands of Jesus and Mary. His feast day is on the 19th of March. Saint Joseph is considered as the patron of workers, and the feast is celebrated on 1st May, the Workers' Day. He was declared as patron of Universal Church in 1870. Maria George, Blessed Virgin Mary. Mary, the Blessed Virgin Mother of God, is the most exemplary of all Christian saints. We celebrate Mother Mary's birthday on September 8th and Assumption into Heaven on August 15th. Mother Mary's humility and obedience to the message of God and her pious devotion and perfect example of love is an inspiration for all the faithful, hoping to increase our faith in God and love of Jesus Christ. Let us all once again give a huge round of applause to our little saints.
Go this way.